All right, so for this last problem on the last page, page 6, we got to find the standard deviation to the nearest hundredth for following frequency distribution. So we have all of our columns titled and listed here. So now we just kind of fill in each of these columns. So now the first one, remember the value is just your x and your frequency is just your f. So we want to multiply those two together. So we can do a lot of that without a calculator. So that gives us that column. Now, if we want to find this next column, we need to find the mean first. So we got to do a little bit more before we can start filling this column in. So remember, we had a problem before where we found the mean of a frequency distribution. So we're doing the same thing here. Once you find those products, because that's what this is, x times f, then we got to add those up. So let's do it safely and add those up. So 12 plus 36 plus 35 plus 16 equals 99. So we got 99 for that one. And then remember, we don't want to divide by 4. There's more than 4 values, and that's determined by the sum of the frequencies. So we have to add up all these. So we got 9 and 7 is 16. So x bar, in this case, is going to be 99 divided by 16. So let's see what we get. We got 99 there, divided by 16, 6.1875. 6.1875. So remember, that's step 1 in that 6-step process. So you got to find the mean first. Now, we don't want to use all these decimal places because otherwise we'll have these huge decimals when we square them. So let's round this to just 1. So let's say 6.2. All right, so that's step 1. Step 2 is right here, this column. We want to fill this column in next, so we got to subtract. So each one of our values, we want to subtract the mean. So 4 minus 6.2. Now that will give us a negative answer, negative 2.2, but that's okay. So 6 minus that is going to be negative 0.2. 7 minus that is going to be 0.8. 8 minus that is going to be 1.8. So we get all those subtractions done. So that's step 2. Step 3 is to square them. Now, remember, in a frequency distribution, there's kind of a 3a and a 3b. So that's both of these columns together. So 3a, we want to start by squaring all of these numbers. Now, the nice thing about squaring any number is that it will always become positive. So if you square this negative 2.2 and we square it, it becomes positive. So 4.84. This is going to be 0.04. This is going to be 0.64. I think that's 3.24, but let me double check. Yeah. Now normally we don't have this column when you just have a list of data, so that's why we can skip, normally skip to step 4, but with a frequency distribution we have to do this extra step because we got to make sure we account for all of that repetition. So all those frequencies are important. They have to be applied to each of these squared results. So let's do that. So 4.84 times 3, so 14.52, 0.04 times 6, so 0.24, 0.64 times 5, 3.2, and 3.24 times 2, 6.48. Okay, so now we have those results. So now step 4, remember, is to add. So we need to just add up this column here. So what do we get? Let's see. Let's work backwards. Plus 0.24 plus 14.52 24.44. So again, this is step 4. Step 5 is divide. And so we want to divide our 24.44 by what? Remember, if it's a little funky, it's n minus 1. So n minus 1, this is our n. So 16 minus 1. So we want to divide that by 15. So 1.6293. And then step 6 is to square root it. So we need to square root 1.62933. Let's see what that gives us. So if we square root it, 1.2764. And then don't forget, we want to round it to 2 decimal places. So let's round this to 1.28. All right. So that wraps up the rest of the review. Sorry about the delay, but it's there now if you're watching this. So, all right. Stay tuned for videos for chapter 13. And we're in the final stretch. See you soon.